Okay. Gemini, let's get into your energy. What is the vibration for Gemini? What is the vibration for Gemini? What's going on in the Gemini section? How's your heart feeling, Gemini? What's the vibration in the heart of Gemini? Mutable air. What is going on in the third house? What's happening in the third house? How is Gemini feeling? Woo! Wow. Oh my gosh. Just took my breath away. Wow, that's very powerful. There's some kind of surge, a surge, a wave coming in, surging towards you. Like a wave, you've watched a wave recede, you've watched something leave, you've let something go, there's something that's been released. And in that absent space, that empty space, there's this rushing inward of fresh nutrients, victory, stability, progress. Wow. The Chariot with the Queen of Pentacles and Death in reverse. Cancer and Capricorn. The father and the mother. There could be some kind of releasing of a family pattern, a getting over, or some kind of finally getting past some kind of dynamic that was critical to your foundation. Like this could literally be moving out of the home, walking away, letting go, releasing family ties and building your own family, right? Like going forward in your own direction. This could even be, an actual death, like that has happened recently that has opened up resources and space and, this new life. Why does Gemini feel this way? This King of Wands has come out in every single reading I have done in Leo season on this channel. Leo season is just so Leo-ish, like that's wild. King of Wands, the Empress, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. Whoa. Yeah, this is some kind of, there's 3 kings on the board now. This is some kind of authority figure or relationship to authority, or really like old patterning or conditioning around family. that's being overtaken by a new way of doing things. So this whole spread here looks like, kind of elaborating on this death in reverse. Like there's been this ending process that you're coming out of. That Gemini is being, is at the tail end or is coming up out of this separation from the way the family was doing things. There's some kind of old guard father figure, grandfather, patriarchal or family, like passed down in the family, that there's this feminine energy trying to get free of it. There's this feminine Empress in reverse. She's been trapped. There's a feminine energy that's been trapped by this old guard, this power. There's a power shift has just occurred. Some masculine, established, even if it's not a man, it's an established energy. It's the way things were. It was the authority that was really putting a weight on this feminine energy. It's like she can't get around it. She feels like she's finally free of it, right? So it feels like she can't move within this family structure. She can't, there's some kind of hamper or a wet blanket or, raining on a parade, right? In order to show up in this family or in front of this person or this boss, whatever this structure is, Gemini has had to completely hide, minimize, suppress some kind of creative urge. It's been suppressed. It's been suppressed in order to be a part of this organization or this family or this group, or in order to please this king. It's like not being able to show it on the surface, right? Having to put up a facade. This is being in the closet, in many different ways, creatively, in a job, pretending that you're really, putting on, literally changing your outfit to go fit in at a job, and then, getting to loosen up when you leave. There's like, I see you bending yourself into pretzels. I see Gemini trying to fit themselves into this thing. It's like this king feels like an energy that's not necessarily malevolent, right? Like it doesn't mean this Empress any harm. It's not purposefully trying to limit this creative potential. It feels like it was the way things had to be done, but it's just outdated, right? It's outdated. There's some kind of, it's not working anymore. You can't go very far with it, with these rules and this sort of established control. There's some kind of like having control over your emotions, having this professional facade, right? Not showing how you really feel inside. Having this stoic kind of I'm not going to show my emotion. That's what I mean, like a patriarchal family dynamic where, you know, it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to show emotions. It's not, you know, it's not, emotions are not welcome. You're just expected to suck it up. And, you know, it's like that has come to an impasse. This King of Pentacles, it's not moving forward. Nothing is, it's a failing, right? It's like a system finally failing, a way of doing things finally coming to a halt. Not really by way of, I feel like this Empress has just been surviving in it. This is not coming to a halt because this king is actually being challenged by anybody else. He's not being, this Empress is not even necessarily challenging him. See how this Queen of Pentacles is just kind of facing away from the death? Right? She's not confronting this. She didn't cause this. It's literally like this person or this organization, it takes itself down. It's not even by anybody else's hand. It's just like this person, if this is somebody who's maintaining this, they can't keep it up anymore. Maybe they don't even see that they're obsolete, that their way of doing things is obsolete. It's like things have just moved, things have just progressed. Like, it's over. There's an expiration date on it. The expiration date has arrived. And I see Gemini just like having this renaissance, creative renaissance, because this heavy weight of showing up for this king, showing up for this authority figure, it's like Gemini is finally free of that weight. There were, you know, passions that wanted to be explored, dreams and desires that were completely stifled, suppressed. And we no longer have, you know, for some reason, we're no longer under this dictatorship, emotional dictatorship. There's something, it's either moving away, some kind of disillusion of a organization, some kind of separating of a family unit, something that makes this a moot point in your life, Gemini, in Gemini's progress. Like there's suddenly all this space and there's this rushing in, this surge of creative energy. It's beautiful. It's almost, you know, I feel like Gemini might still be looking at that wave going out, and this wave coming in is, you know, overwhelming, right? It's very forceful. It's like, let these allegiances go, right? That required you to sacrifice your passion, sacrifice your creativity, sacrifice your who you really are. It's taking itself out. It's almost like you don't have to do anything. I think it might be it's not shocking, it's what's that word, like if some destabilizing, right? It's like something, you know, the water goes out. If you ever stood at the edge of an ocean when there's waves coming in and out, right? The water goes out and it pulls on you really hard, right? And it kind of pulls all that sand with it, and your feet kind of sink down into the sand when the water goes out. And then when that water comes in, the water is still going out while the next wave is coming in, right? There's this kind of overlapping happening here. Like this is still on its way out, right? You still may be interacting. Gemini still may be in relationship or in proximity to this authority or this institution that this organization, this family. It's like you still may be around them. There's this overlapping transitioning period where you're starting to see that freedom, that incoming surge of creativity and life, and what life looks like, not having to live up under this structure. But it's destabilizing. Like if you've ever been in standing in that moment when one wave is going out, still going out and pulling on you in that way, and then another wave is coming in, it's like, wait a second, can I have a minute to like catch my breath? Like, am I getting pulled this way or that way? You know, which so you really, it can be destabilizing. It can pull on different directions. That's beautiful, Gemini. I think you know, thinking about it collectively, right, to this Gemini Leo combination right now in the sky, it is this very heartfelt yearning to be free, to create, to be feminine and open and receptive, and it's like on the horizon. It's been suppressed, so there's this yearning for it, right? And there's a lot of structures that are no longer working, right? We know we can't ignore certain things anymore, right? We can't think our way out of, you know, emotional realities. There's this kind of collective pressure of the things that are pulling on us in our hearts, the things that we are pulled towards, the things that we want to nurture, the things that are dear to our hearts, the way we want to mother and father and create, right? We're still dealing with all the things that have been hampering that collectively. There's almost a grieving process around how much has been suppressed, right? There might be a recognition, like being in that in between and that push and pull. It's like you can really feel how you're like, whoa, that's how much I gave up of myself. That's how much I betrayed myself in order to fit in, right? That's this bending and fragmenting and fitting yourself into boxes so that you can uphold and fit into the group. And there's like a real almost sadness or grief around what has been lost or sacrificed underneath this this king's way of doing things. Okay. Now let's see, what is the clearest pathway forward for Gemini? Let's see, what is the clearest pathway forward for Gemini? What is Gemini's clearest pathway forward? Gemini's clearest pathway. What is Gemini's clearest pathway forward? 4, 5, 6. Yeah, grief. That's grief. There's a real grieving that goes along with freedom, with gaining freedom. When you gain freedom, you recognize how much you were captive, right? And you can see how much of yourself you have missed out on and sacrificed. And Four of Cups, Six of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups in reverse. Grieve what you've lost. Gemini has some grieving to do over what's been sacrificed for this. It's important not to skip over the grief. It's important to go through the grief. Right? You don't want to carry that with you. You want to allow this death process to be complete. Right? So it's a reckoning with your own emotions over, yeah, you did, like, yeah, you can have all this good stuff is coming to you, but grieve what you've lost. Grieve what has been sacrificed. Oh, beautiful. Wow, I love that. The Ace of Wands with the Two of Wands, right? This is what you're grieving. This Two of Wands, sacrificing your dreams, sacrificing your desires, what you want for yourself, your wildest hopes, right? Here they are. Ace of Wands with the Two of Wands upright. That's so beautiful. This is the New with the Fool. With the Fool in reverse. Huh. It's like a very muddy grieving. Like really giving that grief the space, moving through it in order to get this Ace. All these wands, King, 8, 2, and 2 2s, and the Ace. This is this overlapping that I'm talking about, the receding of the old, the letting go, the processing of this that's leaving, right? And then this is the incoming. This is the surge. This is a surge. This is electric. Brand new, brand renewed energy, right? Completely unbridled, uncontained, unrestrained. It's free to move. You're free to go in any direction you want. this feels like a simultaneous. If anybody could understand how to do that, right, it's Gemini, that polarity. Being in a space where you're both grieving what you've lost and welcoming in the brand new, exactly what it is that you lost. You didn't actually lose it. It's right here. That's amazing. This is such a beautiful combination of cards, these three. Like, this is earth and water. This is fire and just pure electricity. The Fool is, the actual new beginning of all new beginnings card in the deck. It's the 0 card. And then with an ace, and then a 2, it's going in that direction, right? 0, 1, 2. The exact thing that you're grieving is what's coming towards you. But you have to grieve it. See how all 3 of these are in reverse and death is in reverse, right? It's like the Fool was in reverse too. It's like in order to get that new beginning, you have to go through that process of letting go of the old, which requires grieving not being able to be this exact version of yourself, or not able to pursue these creative passions of yours. It's literally the exact same thing, right? You have to grieve the thing that you lost in order to welcome it in. You have to recognize and contend with how this structure, this person, this relationship to authority that you have had, it's like you really do have to recognize and reckon with the emotions of how that has kept you from your creativity, how that has kept you from your most authentic self, from your dreams, your passions, your motivations, like how you have fit yourself into this box in order to live up under this structure or this person or this responsibility or this job. Like, it feels like all this surging in, the more you can release, the more you will receive. All that surging in it's relational, right? The more that the water draws back, the more force or the more space there is to fill with the next wave that comes in, right? So it's literally directionally relational. Like, the more you can release this yourself from this bondage, the more you can recognize how you had to betray your dreams and your passions and your creativity to be acceptable to this person, to be accepted in this family, to be part of this family. It's like I see this triangle here, right? The 3 of Pentacles has this triangle, right? It's like up under something, right? It's holding it. It's the keystone of an archway that holds up the whole building, right? And you see how it's here in this triangle shape with these kings. It's like you have to be able to recognize how much this doesn't work, how much you had to betray your own desires and dreams to be a part of it, in order to receive any of this influx, this surge, the exact thing that you've been dreaming about, or the exact desire you had to sacrifice or suppress. Let's get some oracle cards. For Leo, not Leo. These readings have been so fiery. These Leo season readings. Just been straight King of Wands, fire, just start with an animal. Okay, what is Gemini's power stance? What is the power stance for Gemini? What is Gemini's power stance? Ooh, the tiger. Yes. This is courage. And this is Scorpio. Fearlessness, facing fears, travel, direction, navigation, willing to go the mile. Look at the determination in his eyes, right? Talk about riding waves. Cats, they're the only cats, most cats hate water. Tigers are the only cats that will swim. Right? That willingness to confront this wave, this loss, these depths. Like you see, he's in the water, he's swimming in the water, but he is in charge, right? He has a direction that he's headed. I'm just captivated by those eyes right now. It's like seeing through this, right? Being willing to face the truth of this, of how much this has hurt you or how much you've had to hurt yourself to be in this family, institution, relationship, whatever it is. Like, and that's Scorpio, right? It's really like facing the depths, willing to look at the dark things that everybody else is afraid of, right? Like willing to look those deep, dark places in the face and, not turn away and come out the other side, right? It's like, that is this power to get to navigate this wave that's receding. Scorpio is also all about transformation and death. This is the other Scorpio card. Right? There's a reckoning here, some kind of facing and releasing and transforming and just going to that. Like, the more that you can do that, the bigger this surging in of creative, life-affirming, your wildest dreams. Like, the more you can face your fears, the more you can hit that wave or waves of grief and loss and pain, and like the more you can hit that head on, straight on, face it, the more space you open up for all that you are grieving. what is Gemini's power stance? What is the power stance for Gemini? What is the power stance for Gemini? Ooh, Z. The letter Z. Talk about electricity. Movement. Move. This is making me think of this wave image too, right? You know how a wave has like equal and opposite action, right? You go this way and then it goes that way. It has this back and forth movement. I don't know why, but this is making me think of just this sort of interconnectedness of pluses and minuses. Like this negativity or releasing, this pulling away is directly a reflection or in relationship to the positive, this influx, this surge towards you. There's this polarized directions, and this is the Z is making me feel like they're, you know, your power stance is to recognize that those are linked. That the more you release, the more you receive. The more you dive under that wave and go into it, the more you come out on the other side ahead, right? The more victory and progress, and right, that brings you closer to where you were trying to go. What is the power stance for Gemini? What is the power stance for Gemini? What is the power stance for Gemini? Earth. Wow, look at these color scheme here. This light aqua. This looks like the water that the tiger is swimming in. Huh. And it's like this swirling. These swirling waters that are mixing together different elements. Right, this image, this is like a satellite image of land that's like an island. So you can see how the relationship between the water and the earth creates these patterns. And I'm just seeing this, like, this tiger, like, swimming through it, right? Huh. So this is an interesting reflection of this, right? This power stance. There's this muddy. Remember I said that about these cards, that they're muddy, right? They're a mixture of earth and water. Mixture of earth and water. And then there's this fire, this electricity. And see how the tiger's red, orange? It's like this fiery being, you know, making its way through the mud. it's this parallel dynamic here of like parting of waters for this presence, this fiery presence, right? So tap into that passion, tap into your Mars. This is a very Mars heavy combo. Scorpio with the Ace of Wands, right? Meet it head on. Tap into those passions, those exact things that you had to suppress and give up, those exact things that you're grieving, right? That is your compass. That's your inner drive. That's what makes, that's where you get your courage. That's where you get your confidence. That's where you get your forward movement, right? This Leo season, like, it's really asking you, these cards is as your power stance, it's asking Gemini to be fearless and determined and guided by this exact urge, this exact creative, passionate dream, like that hold on to that, go after it, be willing to fight through the mud to get there, right? Be willing to go down into, the past or your body or the way that, maybe this is like somatic work, right? Dealing with family trauma where you had to suppress your voice, or you had to suppress your creativity, or you had to suppress your emotions. Like, do that somatic work of like going into yourself, going into your body, going into all the places that has swirled into you and imprinted into you and manifested into you. It's like you have to reckon with the body. You have to reckon with the impact that this has had on you. Right? And it's not about, there's not this clean slate. You don't get a clean slate where you're like, oh, all those people are gone and out of my life. There's nothing in my way. And I just get to have this brand new beginning where I get to skip off into the, into the sunrise and just like pursue my passions with nothing in the way. No, you're in the mud, right? You're in your emotions, you're in your body. This left an impact, it left an imprint. There are waves of impact that has had on you, having to suppress this part of yourself. And it's not about trying to get to some place where you have a clean slate. It's about using that exact light that you are suppressing, using that to guide you through all this releasing and loss and grieving and reckoning with the impact that it's had on you. Like, nurture that, right? It's your driving force. It is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? It's like, just there's a laser focus in this tiger's eyes on his prize, right? His inner light. And it's like he's going the distance, right? He's going to travel any blockages in his way. There's no environment. It's like he can get through any mud because he has that fire in his eyes, right? Because he's motivated by this. It's about harnessing that exact thing that was suppressed in order to move through all the harm that has been caused by suppressing it. All the pain of whatever this grieving process, self-betrayal, self-silencing, it's connected. It's a reflection. Right, you have to go back and get it. This dream. Wow. That's a beautiful reading. I appreciate this, Gemini. Is that it for today? For Gemini? I think that's it. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. I said all I needed to say for these cards. Thank you for joining me, Gemini. I hope this was helpful. I am available for personal readings. I would love to read for you. I do most of my readings in person, and I'm actually really enjoying doing readings for people that I don't know in person. All I need is your full name and your location, and I dive into either your present moment, which is spread pretty similar to this, or I also offer readings for your life purpose or a past life memory that you want to explore further. So hit me up if you're interested. Thanks so much for joining me, Gemini. I'll see you next time.